What's up guys, my name is Chikamoya and welcome to my channel once again. I've been living in Finland for 3 whole years now, which is crazy. And I thought I would take the opportunity in this video to somewhat review my time here, maybe see how my opinion has changed with different sort of subjects here, like the weather or food or whatever it might be. And I just thought it would be interesting to see what sort of person I was like then and who I am now. So let's get it. I'm originally from South Africa, and if you didn't know that, it probably means that you haven't subscribed to my channel. So won't you do that? This is your opportunity. Give me a like as well. It really helps out this channel. So it's true what they say. Your environment really does affect your life. It really does affect the way you view life. And so I remember arriving here 3 years ago. I was really wet behind the ears. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect with the weather. I didn't know what to expect when it came to the people, the environment, and all that sort of jazz. And now 3 years later, I've experienced a lot of it. So I thought it would be fun to just think back. Well, one of the biggest shocks for me was the language when I first arrived. The language was so alien and difficult and confusing, and 3 years later, the language is alien, difficult and confusing. Having said that, I feel like I now understand the rhythm of Finnish, the vibe of it. You know, the soul behind the language. It's not just some weird alien language to me anymore. Now I feel comfortable around it. In the past, when I would hear Finnish being spoken around me, I felt so alone. I felt like I wasn't a part of something happening around me. I still can't speak Finnish just yet, but I can now get the vibe of what's being said around me, and I feel comfortable around Finnish. And I remember thinking that, wow, I see no reason to have to learn this really weird language. But now, you know, I've got respect for the Finnish language. It's still hella different from most other languages, and it's really unique in that way, but I find it in its own way beautiful. I was watching a video the other day, a TED Talk actually, about how language can affect the way you view reality and can affect culture. And I found an example of that in Finnish actually. In Finnish, you don't separate male and female. You use a word. You use a word called han, and that word can describe both a male or a female, or a dog. Some people use it to describe their dog, so that's alright. Unlike in English, where we separate male and female, like he did that, she did that. In Finnish, it's the same word for both. And I find it quite interesting that Finland is a beacon of equality when it comes to male and female. It's just so interesting. It's like a language affects a culture, which you can then see. You can see an example of it. And it's quite interesting. I find it really cool. You're as likely to see males and females in positions of power here, and I think it's really great. But the point I'm trying to say is that the Finnish language, although it's still confusing and weird and all those sort of things, it's also beautiful and it's got depth to it, and it's and I've got respect. I've got respect for the Finnish language. Arriving here and experiencing the weather for the first time, like real winter. It was a big shock, you know, and I immediately hated it. I loved the snow, yes, but the darkness was just a little too much for me. But now I feel like myself and the seasons have an understanding. Winter is still not my best friend, but I understand winter now. I see it for what it is here in Finland. It gets dark real quick during these times while we're approaching winter. We almost in winter now. Around 3:30, it starts getting dark. And when it starts getting dark, you get tired and you don't feel like doing stuff. And you know what that has done for me? It has really pushed me to get work done quickly, because when the light is there, I feel really energized and I feel like I need to do my work. So winter has felt like time that helps me focus, you know. It has helped me spend time with myself and to really reflect, you know, because sometimes it's dark and it's cold and you just want to stay in the house. So for me, one of the things that I've done now is I've bought a whole bunch of different lights everywhere, and I think that's really cool. But I appreciate that part of winter, you know. And along with that, there's lots of coffee being drunk. There's lots of nights of just sitting, listening to music, watching movies, or something along those lines, which I think is fantastic. Another thing to know about winter is that nature itself seems to fall asleep during winter. The flowers get frozen, the trees shed their leaves. You know, it's almost a time where the whole country goes to sleep in a way. And I feel like it's been really important to understand that in winter time, it's all right to sometimes not feel as energized or as active, and to not beat myself up about it, and to not compare wintertime with summertime, because it's a completely different thing. So it has been really cool to understand that and accept that and accept winter for what it is. Just a quick pause in this video. If you're enjoying my content, won't you give this a like and subscribe to my channel? I'm trying to reach 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so that would be lovely. Thank you in advance. When it starts getting cold, hey, I just need to buy warmer stuff. If I'm missing the sun, I can take vitamin D, or I can go to a sauna, which funnily enough, I haven't done too much of. But going into a sauna does sometimes give back a little bit of that feeling that you might get being in the sun, or that high that you might get from the energy that the sun gives. So there are many different options, and instead of sitting around and complaining about it, I can just deal with what I have. So I've begun to understand it. And in Finland, the seasons are so obvious to see that it's really beautiful. Then spring comes in and new flowers begin blooming and that sort of thing. And then it's summertime where the sun is just out most of the time. It's like just like in wintertime where the sun is hardly there. In summertime, it hardly gets dark, and it's like an opposite effect, and it's beautiful and it's fun and it's great, you know. You have those times when you go and have a couple drinks in the park, and there's a lot of festivals happening outside. It's a great time. And in autumn or fall is also beautiful, because although it's starting to get a little darker, it's so beautiful around. The flowers are turning different colors, and on the ground there's just beautiful different colored leaves everywhere. So it's great. So, like I said, I've began to respect and understand the weather. When it comes to the food though, I won't lie, I'm still not digging the Finnish cuisine all that much. No offense. It's just not a cup of tea, you know. I will say that I love fish, and Finnish people eat a lot of fish, so that's kind of cool. I like that. As of right now, I haven't really brought in a Finnish food into my life, into my daily life. There isn't anything really that I can think of right now. So yeah, that's the one aspect. I'm not against Finnish food. I'll eat whatever is put in front of me. Yeah, the spices, man. I need spice. And I did make a video about Finnish food a while ago. I'll put it up here now. You can check that out after finishing this one. Yeah, so sorry about that. If you're hoping that my opinions would change about that. What do I think about the people now? I did make another video about asking the question, are Finnish people cold? I'll also put this up here or in the description. And my views haven't really changed, you know. On the outside, on the surface, what you see when you walk out in public, when you take public transport, it seems like people just like to keep to themselves, and it can seem like Finnish people are cold. It's not like South Africa or America where you're pretty likely to have a random person just start talking to you. Here, everyone just simply keeps to themselves, and that's the surface level of it. When you go a little deeper, you find that Finnish people are just being polite. They don't want to be disturbed, so they won't disturb anyone else. And to me, that sounds really cool. And I won't say that it bothered me when I first arrived here, but it was just such a big change. And I can feel some of that affecting me. I'm now the same. When I'm in transit or en route somewhere, I prefer to keep to myself, to keep my own company. I'll have my earphones in and I'll just keep to myself, and that's perfect for me. So yeah, I think Finnish people are great, and once you get to know certain types of people, just like anywhere else in the world, you'll find great people and you'll find not so great people. So yeah. All in all, looking back, I am blown away with how much my life has changed being here. I've gone through massive ups and massive downs, just like anywhere else in the world. And don't get it wrong, no matter where you live in the world, you're still you. You still have to fight against your own mind at times, and you still have to fight to get peace inside. So where you move isn't going to be your savior, you know. Just to say that Finland has really helped me see things in a different way. I would never have expected myself to view a country like this so positively, since it was so different to what I was used to. I was in Berlin a couple weeks ago, and I was speaking to this lovely old lady, and I remember telling her that I never want to go to China because it looks pretty messed up. And then she looked at me and she said, why? And I just said, no, I'd been reading about it and it looks pretty messed up. And she was like, so you've never been there, you've never experienced the people, you've never tried to understand the culture, you've never been there for yourself to really see. And I was like, no. And then she said, you see, that's the problem. You can't just make conclusions about a place that you've never been to from far away. It hit me in all the right places because I understood that if I hadn't experienced Finland firsthand, I would never have known, I would never have been able to truly understand the culture, even some of the things that I think are weird as shit, you know, but I understand them. I would never have understood the language or what the language represents and the culture. Finland would have just been the place where people speak a weird language and eat lots of fish, you know. And I count myself lucky to have been able to experience some of these things, to being able to experience the things here. And I love Finland. I love living here, and it's been a life-changing experience, and I'm really excited to see in what other ways this place will challenge me and grow me. If you're watching this, I just want to tell you that you're amazing. Thank you. Have a fantastic day or evening wherever you are, and be blessed. You're amazing. Thanks for watching. Cheers for now. Bye.